ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new Let's Play of Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective. This is Volume 1 that was released on 1991. There's also a Steam version that features 3 of the cases of this game, but I'm playing the DOS version um, just to, like, you know, just to play it. I played this on the first time while streaming on Twitch, and it was quite interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is to do with the mummy's curse. Then the next video is the mystified murderess and the tin soldier. So let's start with this first one up top.
What rubbish! What balderdash!
You must have read something terribly disturbing, Watson, for you to be so overwrought this early in the morning.
Indeed, Holmes. It's irresponsible of the Times to play upon people's superstitions.
Ah, you must be referring to the affair of the mummy's curse.
Has the entire city in an uproar. 3 men dead, and they expect us to believe that a 4,000-year-old mummy was the murderer. I'm surprised you haven't taken some interest in this case, Holmes.
To the contrary, my dear Watson. I have made some inquiries, because I dare say I do believe this murderer is a much younger chap.
Okay, so there are 3 murders that involves 3 men, and we have to figure out who did it. Now, there's a time when I was streaming on Twitch that I have to look up either the walkthroughs or watch someone else do this Let's Play. So, we're going to be focusing on August 17th. And I don't know which page has this, but we're just going to do what we can here. There's supposed to be an article, even though I don't read as well. And excuse me. And I think the next thing is March 5th. There's so many articles about certain things, but let's see. And then there's this last article on April 12th. You just have to keep looking through these articles until, you know. Now I can't read all of this because I'm trying to finish in one video. And I'm having a little bit of a headache. So, yeah. That's why I'm, you know. But there's one thing that I do know. And that is we have to go talk to this person. But here's the scoring, but there's not much of importance right now. But if we keep trying to look for it, on the newspaper article, then maybe there will be a scoring at some point. It's just that as you can tell, my scoring is 0. And basically you get scores by looking through newspapers if there's any importance. Talk to people on cutscenes. And the thing about this is that if your score goes up, that only means you found something important. Let's see, I didn't find anything here. What's interesting is that I have to keep searching on every article just to figure out what it is right now. I didn't do that on my Twitch stream because what I did is a bit short in my opinion. But that's only because I'm trying to figure out how I could finish this game and how to complete it without failing. There are other times that I have to look up walkthroughs just to see anything important. Still no score on anything right now, but what I do know is that we were supposed to talk to this person over here.
It's quite amusing, all this hoopla over a mummy's curse, I must say. Not so amusing, of course, the murder of 3 Englishmen.
Have any of your reporters uncovered anything new?
Actually, I've been in Paris the past several weeks. Just returned to London on Tuesday. I've had no involvement with the writing of any of these articles. I believe they are all the work of Philip Travis. He's one of our young reporters. For a short time, he was the Egyptian correspondent.
Was he sacked?
No. He returned to London just a few days ago. I gather he was reassigned to cover the case from here because he had some familiarity with the murder in Egypt.
Do you know Travis?
No, never actually met the chap, although I hear he's a bit of an odd duck.
Thanks for your help, Henry.
Anytime. Let me know when you catch the mummy. That's one scoop I'd like to get.
Okay, so that's excuse me. So that's Henry Ellis. Then I think we're supposed to go to the London University. This one right here, I think.
Such a tragedy. Fine men all, and such outstanding scholars. I still can't quite get over the shock of it.
We understand.
Professor, we're looking for background information on these 3 men so that we can understand how their murders might tie together.
Well, let me begin with Dr. Turnbull. Ebenezer Turnbull was responsible for organizing the Carteret expedition. Quite a remarkable man, really. This was the first time he teamed up with James Windibank. Professor Windibank was one of our most popular lecturers. In fact, several of his former students were also eager to accompany him. I recall him saying that he was having difficulty choosing. Weatherby turned out to be the lucky one. Though it seems far from it now, doesn't it? I suppose Smith and Travis turned out to be the lucky ones after all.
Smith and Travis?
Peter Smith accepted the invitation to join another expedition. As for Philip Travis, he was quite keen on accompanying Professor Windibank. In fact, he became exceedingly upset when Andrew Weatherby, a postgraduate student in the department, was chosen instead. Took it rather personally, I should say.
Alright. So, if we go to the score here, as you can see, this is what I'm looking for. This is the score that I'm looking for right now. Well, not what I'm looking for, but you know. You know. Okay, so the next thing that I do believe that I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to go to something something. But you know, I think there is an article on February 6th. And it may not hold any importance, but for what I remember when I first streamed this game, there was some sort of article that I'm missing. It could be this one. No, I already look at that. I'm just looking through everything, unlike on my Twitch stream, just to see if I'm missing anything. I'd rather try my best to look up some few things than to miss it in the long run. Still no scoring, but for what I can gather, there's somewhere in the article on February 6th that has something to do with... It may have something to do with, like... with something. I don't understand why am I looking through these newspaper articles just to find something that will give me a score. Obviously, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to get it. But what I was looking for is I was looking for the letter J, not dialogue. Let's keep on looking for. Hold on. I'm looking for something to do with. I'm trying to look for the. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Here's your list. Something I cannot pronounce this name. Louise Fenwick, Murray Fenwick, Philip Travis, Anthony Herb something, Andrew Weatherbird or something, Clarissa, and James. So these are just names that we haven't gotten through. And because of that, we end up hiring up our score to 19. Now I think I'm supposed to visit one of the Weatherberries. And it could be Carissa. Let's try Carissa.
I'm very sorry to intrude on you in your moment of grief.
Oh, that's quite all right. You know, Andrew and I hadn't been married very long.
Long enough to know if he had any enemies?
Oh, Andrew was so unassuming. Everyone liked him.
Including Mr. Uruburu?
I really loved my husband.
I'm sure you did. Oh, English toffee. My favorite.
Would you like one?
Please.
Sorry, you'll have to open this yourself. I've never been any good with these things.
So Carissa is not a suspect because she's not strong enough with those containers of toffees. Some sort of sweet, I believe. And let's see if my score went up. Yes, it's at 26. But I have a feeling that I'm missing something. Well, let's try to higher up our scores. We can go to the London Library.
Here it is, Holmes. Egyptian mummies are embalmed bodies preserved to facilitate their resurrection. Many mummies have been found, and they are almost always the bodies of pharaohs. The pharaohs believed that one day their bodies would be brought back to life. See History of Egyptian Mummies by Pettigrew, London, 1834.
Very good, Watson.
Now you're probably wondering why is that important. Just some small information. However, it's very interesting. So we're up to 36. Okay, so we could also talk to other people. Let's see. No, not that one. Let's try this one.
So you've been reading my articles in the Times. I'm honored. What do you think of them?
Quite interesting. You've clearly been following the murders quite closely. Who do you suspect?
I believe it is the work of the ancient Egyptian god Pumatef and his goddess Neith.
Be serious.
I couldn't be more serious. You see, Mr. Holmes, although I am a journalist, I was actually trained as an Egyptologist. I know all about these mysteries. That's why my articles carry the force of truth.
And what is the truth, Mr. Travis?
The truth is that the Egyptians discovered the secret of life. What we call science is mere child's play compared to the knowledge they had. Look at this. Do you know what this is?
It appears to be a mummified animal of some sort, a monkey perhaps.
Precisely.
Quite a conversation piece.
I've been using it in some very important experiments which, if successful, will unlock the secret for bringing back the souls of the dead. I've been working on it, Mr. Holmes, using these tanner leaves. Watch. Uma lotus. Licantina. Burura.
It appears that the soul of this particular monkey has no intention of making a reappearance.
It's only a matter of time. I know it is. After all, these secrets have been buried for thousands of years. These things don't happen overnight. But it will happen someday. This is my mission.
I believe I'll leave you to your work, Mr. Travis.
Don't go yet. Let me show you more.
Thank you. Some other time, perhaps.
Well, that was strange. That was definitely strange. One of the strangest. Let's see. Now I'm up to 46. I think it is close enough to. I think it is close enough to basically, take it to court.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Queen's Court stands in order. Mr. Holmes, I understand you've been looking into the mummy murders.
Yes, my lord.
Tell me then, who was Ebenezer Turnbull's murderer? I believe we're to choose from either our notebook or the directory, Holmes.
Very good, Watson.
So Watson is telling us to look at either this notepad or this book right here. So we're going to look at the book, and I believe the answer is quite obvious. It's got to be Travis Phillip.
And what makes you so certain? What was Travis's motive for killing Turnbull?
Well, let's see. I'm going to go with answer C. Turnbull publicly lambasted Travis for questioning the doctor's credentials. Yeah, that's it.
And what of Andrew Weatherby? Who murdered him?
Why, my dear judge, it is quite obvious who murdered Andrew. Travis himself.
So, you say Travis killed Turnbull and Weatherby?
Yes, I believe he did, my lord.
What was his motive to kill Weatherby, Holmes?
I'm going with answer D. Travis was angry that Weatherby was chosen for the expedition instead of himself.
Ah, revenge. The oldest motive in the book. Now, Holmes, who murdered James Windibank?
Once again, it is the same guy.
This Travis seems to be quite a busy fellow. What made him kill James Windibank?
I think the answer is B, because Windibank did not choose him for the expedition. Please excuse me, everyone. I have a little bit of a condition. It's not serious, but it's just, difficult. So, like I said before, the answer is B. Windibank did not choose him for the expedition.
Excellent job, gentlemen. You have solved the case to my satisfaction. The court stands in recess. Until next time, of course.
And that's the end.
Excellent job on a most difficult case. If we had been doing our best, we could have solved this one in less points, but we're not too far off, are we?
Yeah, this is the one that I have a hard time with because I have to be... Hold on, that's... Let's watch
Well,
the
Watson,
solution.
I believe this case is solved. And for your information, it was not the mummy.
Come, Holmes. I never thought for a moment it was the mummy.
Of course not, Watson. However, the murderer and the mummy did have one thing in common.
What's that?
They both were the only ones present at the time of the murders, except, of course, the victims.
You state the obvious, Holmes.
Ah, but it is seeing the obvious that is important. First, I saw no reason to assume that we were dealing with more than one murderer. Secondly, the locations of the murders limited the number of suspects.
Limited them? The first murder was in Egypt, the second on ship in the middle of the sea, and the third in London. You call the entire populations of London and Egypt a limited number of suspects?
No, Watson. We had to find someone who was in Egypt for the first murder, on the ship for the second, and in London for the third.
Oh, but of course.
According to the newspapers, the Eastern Empress was in Bombay at the time of Ebenezer Turnbull's murder, so that eliminated the ship's crew as suspects. Thus, I needed the list of passengers who boarded the ship at Cairo. It was our visit to Jardine Mason and Company that provided our first critical clue. From it, I learned that Philip Travis was a passenger. I then learned that Travis was the chap who reported on the first murder. He became one suspect, but I had no motive. Clarissa Weatherby, who was also at the scene of the murder in Cairo, was another possible suspect, since she appears to have had a bit of a dalliance with Mr. Uruburu there on the high seas. So I had found her motive for the murder of Weatherby, but not a motive for the murder of the others.
Then whom did you eliminate?
Mrs. Weatherby. Her hands were not strong enough even to open a jar of English toffee, let alone strangle a grown man.
And what of Travis's motive?
It seems that Travis was a student in the Egyptology department at London University and had studied under James Windibank. He wanted very badly to be chosen as a member of the expedition, but Windibank turned him down. Instead, Weatherby was chosen and Travis was furious. So there you have the motive for two of the murders.
And what of his motive for the murder of Turnbull?
Evidently, Travis had written a vicious article questioning Dr. Turnbull's credentials to lead the expedition. Turnbull's response was quite harsh, probably powerful enough to drive an odd duck like Travis to murder.
Very impressive, Holmes.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the solution. It was always Travis. And my score isn't as tied with Holmes. So this is the one mystery that I have a hard time with, because I have to match the scoring of less points just like Holmes. But it is what it is. I solved the mystery, and that's it for today's part of this LP. There's going to be another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save and type in I'm going to type in MSG, which stands for Miss Sensational Gaming Channel. So if you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.